These are the resource stocks owned by the 1%, starting with Fireweed, which is a company that has drawn the attention of Lundin Group and Rick Rule. It's in Canada, in Yukon province. It's backed by leading industry leaders such as Lundin Group, with access to deep sea port through the river from the project. It's one of the largest grades or highest grade tungsten deposits on the planet, and the company has also been awarded 35 million Canadian dollars in assistance from the American and the Canadian government for funding of road and power infrastructure. That's 35 million like combined from both. And they also in the presentation have 412 tons of gallium and 600 tons of germanium indicated, and that's just the top of the iceberg. Since critical minerals are essentially in infrastructure, transportation, defense, aerospace and electronics, this one seems to be very interesting in the coming years. The fact that the government is even financing it or like assisting with infrastructure, it seems very interesting. And trust me, this is just the top of the iceberg. It has a lot more resources than this, and it seems very interesting. But now let's go over to the second one, which is Discovery Silver. It's one of the largest silver reserves on the planet with a low AISC of 12.5 USD per ounce, and an up-and-coming silver giant if they get started, obviously, and has also drawn the attention of an investor called Eric Sprott, which is one of the greatest mining investors on the planet currently. And this company has a projected annual production of 37 million ounces of silver equivalent and a 19-year-old production life. This seems to be a real gem if everything goes according to plan. That is, if everything goes according to plan. Hopefully. I am a little bit angry because I was supposed to buy this company in December 2024, and the share price was roughly 60 cents, and now it's like $2 or something. But I still think it has upside potential when they get started. So, let's get going to the third one. And now to the third company. It's West Red Lake Gold, which has had investors such as Frank Giustra and Rick Rule, who's been interested in this company, and it's in a traditionally high-grade area in Canada, and they are not disappointed with a 1.65 million ounces in indicated at 7.4 grams per ton, which is amazing, and 366,000 ounces in inferred, at also high grade. And this company has tremendous exploration potential with them being in areas with an enormous grade of gold. Imagine if they find even more gold, So they are beginning production later this year. During the summer to autumn, they will start producing gold, which will be awesome. And then, usually when a company starts producing gold, it's when it really takes off, hopefully. I'm pretty new to the gold space. Basically, I started in 2024. All the interviews I've watched, it seems to be the case. And, the fact that they have some of the world's best and greatest investors interested in this company, there must be something to it. So let's go over to the fourth one, which is Meteoric Resources, which has drawn the attention of Rick Rule. With the West trying to divorce from China's rare earth stranglehold, these times need drastic measures, which is the West needs to become independent in rare earth. So here are one company I'll mention two. One is Critical Metals Corp, which is in Greenland. Massive rare earth deposit, massive. And I personally think it's cheap currently. But now we're talking about Meteoric Resources in Brazil, with huge reserves of rare earths consisting of neodymium, praseodymium, terbium, and dysprosium, utilized in electric vehicles, smartphones, defense, drones, and missiles and such. And I found this interesting also mainly due to the fact that Rick has mentioned it several times as an interesting company in the rare earth, and the fact that it has a massive reserve. So now let's go over to the second one. I personally am most interested in Critical Metal Corps due to them having a massive reserve, and who knows, maybe that's why they're interested in Greenland, because it has an enormous reserve of rare earths. Let's go to the fifth one. And number 5 is Uranium Energy Corp. It's an up-and-coming American uranium producer with a massive resource of 230 million pounds of uranium in measured and indicated, and 100 million pounds of uranium in inferred. With a licensed capacity of 12 million pounds of uranium, this can really be a massive company in the future. And I also think it's probably cheap at this current moment, and it also has drawn the attention of Rick Rule and several other mining legends. And with the increasing utility of uranium in energy, because people want clean energy in the green. If you want useful, stable, and high capacity energy, you basically need nuclear energy until we get thorium and things like this. But I find it to be very interesting, and I think due to uranium, an enormous amount of nuclear reactors being constructed now and is soon to be operational in the coming years. Uranium is going to have an increasing importance in the world in the next years. So then I think companies like this will really flourish in the coming years. Now let's go to the sixth one. Number 6 would be Libero Copper and Gold. With over 4.5 billion pounds of copper, it has drawn the attention of one of the best mining investors on the planet, which is Frank Giustra. And it also, this is in Colombia, and it's also connected to the national road, and it has a massive deposit of molybdenum as well. Bear in mind, the largest deposit of molybdenum is from a company called Northern Dynasty Minerals, which is in Alaska. It's an also interesting company mentioning. So now let's go over to the 7th. Exploits Discovery. It's an exploration company with very high grade gold, but it's also very risky, so if you don't like risk, then you should probably stay away. But it's also 14% of the company is owned by Eric Sprott, so then you know it has tremendously high grade gold, like phenomenal. You can probably see, I hope you can see it on the screen. Anyway, I wrote some more. It's focused on gold, and bear in mind they don't have a current resource. They only have drill samples, and it's a very speculative investment, but you know, it has tremendous potential. So anyway, let's go over to the final company on the list. And now for the final company, which is Cameco, the Canadian nuclear juggernaut. With over 500 million pounds of uranium measured and indicated, this company has been producing for years, and with that comes experience, both in the good times and the bad times. And with uranium's increasing utility and use throughout the world, this company will really benefit from that, I think. And it's currently, in my opinion, a lot cheaper now than it was a couple of months ago, so it might be an interesting company to look into. And it has some notable investors such as Vanguard, FMR LLC, and Morgan Stanley. So with the increasing utility of nuclear energy, companies such as this will benefit tremendously. So I hope you've really enjoyed this video. It's been companies that either the top 1% individuals or top 1% like companies are invested in currently. So I hope you've enjoyed. Take care. Peace.